She's gone quick, man.
What's up, dudes? Coming back at you guys here with the sixth flight for the ZOHD Alpha Strike. This particular flight, the objective was to go ahead and finally stretch the legs on this guy. A couple guys I've been chatting with them back and forth that they're like-minded people. They're thinking, hey, we can cruise this thing, man, at high speed. So I was gonna go ahead and set a small bar. No major objectives today. We're just gonna just stretch it out, test the equipment out to see how everything's gonna work. But here comes that beautiful launch. Again, auto launch settings that I got for this is working fantastic. But here you go. There it is. It caught itself like a champ. And as you can see, she's tracking out straight. Slight torque roll. The torque roll is there. It is just there. This plane is going to do it. It is just something that you just gotta be prepared for. And my fix for it was playing around with the auto launch, as you guys seen, and those settings seem to work out pretty good. I didn't realize myself until I seen this footage how much of an actual up angle I was putting on that dude when I'm launching it. But you see it, you guys want to try it, hey, just repeat as me. You shouldn't have any kind of issues at all. Hopefully not. But that is my actual third successful auto launch since I put that new settings in it, and it's been repeatable every single time. As long as you give it that good toss. We got it cruising here. Um, Early morning flight again after the fog had lifted up. The winds, of course, it was gusting. It was about a 13 mile per hour wind or so. So yes, this 620 millimeter plane, 620 millimeter plane, cruising at this speed, it gets just a slightly a little bit rocky. Give or take horizon drift too, INAV settings, all that stuff. Again, I have not done auto tune on this guy. Why? I had a bad result trying to do auto tune on the Talon 250G. Um, Not sure what happened. I don't know if it was me or what. I followed the steps to a T, banged the sticks around for almost 20 minutes while it was flying, and it did not feel good when it was done. It just didn't. So that kind of made me shy away from it. And what I do, I ask people for what race you're coming out with, and put those in it. And I still tweak with the PIDs myself a little bit here and there. But with the Alpha Strike, I have not touched the PIDs at all. They are absolutely default PIS you see in this guy that's making it fly, in my opinion, as well as it is, despite the horizon drift that it's suffering from. Anyway, everything's looking good. Um, and we're gonna let you guys enjoy this flight. Not gonna bore you guys me talking to death. I'll chime in and out as usual. Enjoy. And also, if you guys may be wondering why I didn't add any HD footage to this one, um, the, I did not, my so-called friction fit camera mount I made, I did not push it all the way back down, snug off in there. So it had vibration in the footage, and it didn't look good. So it was like I would just skip the HD footage this time, and just do the raw DVR footage, which works. You can't really see the vibration in this. It won't make your motion sickness too bad, other than the gust hitting the plane every now and again, making it wobble. But again, this plane is pretty cool to be able to cruise at 44, 45 miles per hour at the amps is just it's unreal. I mean, it's covering ground really quick. But you'll notice that the RSSI here is starting to bounce around. It'll get worse, of course, the further I go out. Um, there is interference in this area for sure. I've done videos about that in the past, but I don't know if the placement I have of the antenna, I know it's not ideal because basically it's sitting between the motor and the ESC and everything, and it's sitting down low off into the frame. I wonder if I take it out and stick it down on the wing or something, which I'm pretty sure it would. My RSSI signal strength altogether would be a lot more solid during this flight. But again, like I said, the further I go out, you guys will notice that the RSSI starts really bouncing around at the distance. And video wise goes, same thing, interference in the area. Most definitely, you can kind of see it pulsating at points in the video from the interference that's in this particular area. Now, we still have not tracked it down where exactly where it's coming from, but we have noticed that it's kind of depending on what time it is throughout the day. Yeah, as you can see, the video is really getting more grainy here, and it's mainly because of the I'm thinking still maybe the interference in the area. I mean, it could be placement on the frame with stuff. Not really sure. I'm gonna have to play around with it, but either way it go, I think we set the bar pretty low um, with some range, and I would love to see somebody else outdo what I just did in this footage here, and make sure that whoever does it, send me a link. We'll start us a little competition. But the plane is awesome. I absolutely love it. For this task, for being a cruiser, it's not bad, and I want to do this as well too, just to show people, hey, you don't have to fly this thing full blast. Two different guys that approached me with the video I did, the 100 mile per hour video, and I made a statement in there saying this could be a beginner second plane if they set it up correctly with iNav. And they was like, hey, you might want to clear that up, make sure they understand, yada yada yada. But I mean, I feel their concerns of it. They're afraid that somebody's gonna jump in, get this plane, and kill it, and just they're like, oh, I'm done with the hobby. Hey, and that is true. Some people do jump in there like that, and things that happen, uneventful, whatever or not, and they kill a plane and they're just done. They sell everything they got. And we don't want to see that. We most definitely do not want to see that in our community. We want to see our community grow. The more people in, the better. But the more people in, it should be more people fighting for our rights to keep being able to fly. That's one thing we need to start pushing towards the new people coming in is, hey, look, we are at threat right now. But yes, the plane cruise is fine. You do not have to fly at full blast all the time. The plane can fly slower, as you're seeing, 16% throttle, give or take 40-ish miles per hour. Is totally fine at that. That is not, in my opinion, fast enough for a beginner to not be able to handle. If they get in there and set up iNav correctly, follow the steps, auto launch, they should be good. They should be golden. And again, you build your way up in speed. Keep trying yourself. Most definitely don't try to do any kind of range or anything like that if you don't have a actual ground station. That is just simple as that. You got to have some type of setup to be able to do what you see me do. You won't make it far with just goggles on your head. You just won't. It's not going to happen. You can even have a high gain antenna on your head, and you get a little bit further than the normal would. But it's not safe to even try that stuff. I've been doing this for years, so don't let me hype you up to cause yourself some failure. Let's just say that, say the least. You know what I mean? Keep it within your zone. Small steps. Work your way up. Same thing with flying this plane. Build your way up to those speeds if you are a beginner. You know, do auto launch to get yourself started with it is a good way to, get the plane going, obviously. And as soon as all launch finishes, dial that throttle back immediately, take control, and everything should be fine. Be prepared on landing. The plane comes in a little bit hot. You can float it out some, but don't get it below 30 miles per hour. I've noted, Pains 360 even noted the same thing too in his video. At 30 miles per hour with this plane, the way I have it set up, the all up weight and all that stuff, at 30 miles per hour, it starts to get mushy in the air. It does. The plane likes to go fast. It does. The plane was built and meant to go fast. It did not have intentions of being any kind of cruiser. So keep that in mind. Don't get below 30, and everything will be perfectly fine. No type. And the stall wasn't crazy. It didn't really stall. I would say it just kind of mushed out. My control authority as far as the left or right movement go, or up and down, my control authority was like almost gone below 30, to say the least. So you got to keep that speed up on it even when you're coming in for a landing. You don't want to see below 30. If you see below 30, the plane is just gonna land still if you just gonna let it float in. But if it drifts off left to the right, you would not be able to compensate for it because it's not at a high enough speed. That is the truth. But other than that, if you can get past those little small little humps, which it should be no issue for anybody, everything would be just fine with this model, and it will be a great model for one to grow with. But most definitely, get some experience behind yourself. If you ain't considered yourself mastered the first plane that you have now, I mean, as far as landing, takeoff, all that good stuff, if you're not good at that now, do not buy this plane. Simple as that. If you're not good or have any clue about setting it up iNav, you can still buy the plane, but don't fly it until you are confident that you have set everything up correctly in iNav. Just being real about it. As far as you want to use auto launch and it being the help for you not having to deal with the torque roll on launch. Stay away from it until you are sure you got everything set up straight. If you are a second plane beginner, straight up. That's just being real about it. But other than that, if you are like myself, natural knack to fly, a bunch of other people are, a lot of guys ripping the mini ARs around like it ain't nothing. That's their first plane. This plane is for y'all. It's great for that. If you're used to the speeds, if you're already up to par and you trust your skills, get it, and I promise you, this will become your favorite plane very, very quickly. And the rest of this flight pretty much was spent trying to chase my bud around. He was in his AR wing, original AR wing, and the issue was we was pretty much flying over top of each other because we was flying at the same speeds. So again, you know, that kind of speaks volumes right there, I guess, about this plane. You don't have to fly it that fast. But that's pretty much what ended up happening. Just, you know, I was over top of him. A couple times I seen him, but it was really nothing worth me, you know, slowing this video down to show any guys or anything like that. But anyway, I just figured to play on out so you guys can see the way the plane handled throughout the low voltage of a line pack. I didn't mention that at the beginning. This flight I'm using my 4S 1P Samsung cells, 21700 cells, 5000 milliamp. They can hold a constant 10 amps safely without causing any kind of damage to the batteries. And I love those cells. They work out perfectly in this plane, and my setup is still under that 900 gram max recommendation weight from ZOHD using the stock power combo. So it's working out good. These cells, I actually can take them down to 2.5 volts per cell, which in the 4S it'll be actually 10 volts. Other planes I got, I especially the Reptile Dragon, I do that all the time. Take it all the way down to 11 volts, and you know, once I see, give or take, when I get around typically 11.5 volts using these cells, that's when I'm for sure trying to land. Because around that, depending on the amp pool, it can zap it in a minute, and next thing you know, you're sitting at 10 flat. So just keep that in mind. Whatever cells you guys use, know the specs on the cells. That is key. Be careful with the knockoffs and clones and all that stuff, man. There's a lot of generic brands or batteries that say Samsung that are not. But anyway, we're getting ready now to wrap this flight up. 36 minutes in, we're fixing ready to land this dude here shortly. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and drop this dude on in. Again, I'm still learning the plane. I still do not know when to kill the throttle yet. And this plane, it carries speeds for a pretty good bit of time. But you'll notice though, it's going to start mushing out here at 30. I have no control at that point right there. I had no control of it. But as you can see, it just kind of just fell out the sky. No damage to the frame. Anyway, hope you dudes enjoyed. Peace and love. I'm out.